Welcome back to Access Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough review of One Piece episode 593. Now, if you remember from last episode, we find out Zoro, Sanji, and Brook have been defeated by the Yeti Cool Brothers. However, we don't get to find out how they were defeated. Just putting that out there. And we don't know if they're alive or if they're dead. Obviously, they're main characters, so they're not dead. They've just been defeated for now. Now, moving on past that, we do find out Nami has been kidnapped by the Cool Brothers as well. Really? So it gets better and better. I love all this shit that's happening all at once. So again, Nami has been kidnapped by the Cool Brothers, and Brownbeard has been murdered by the Cool Brothers as well. Okay, no one cares about Brownbeard, plain and simple, but again, he's been murdered by the Cool Brothers. Now, moving on past that, we find out Law has attacked two of Caesar Clown's men in general. So Law has decided to attack Caesar Clown's men. So does this mean he's now fighting Caesar Clown in general, since he's attacked two of Caesar Clown's men? It looks like it. But again, that's where the episode ends. I know my final thought and rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. But let's dive right on in. So we open up this episode with the confirmed death of Brownbeard. So Brownbeard has been confirmed. He is dead. Who cares? No one really cares. And Luffy, along with Frankie, are now going after the Cool Brothers. Interesting pair-up. We really never see this kind of pair-up, in my opinion, Luffy and Frankie. I mean, Frankie's not even in his own body. He's in Chopper's body. Now, eventually, Frankie eats one of Chopper's Rumble Balls really early in the game. He shouldn't have ate it right away, and he transforms into that monster that Chopper could never control before. However, in previous episodes, he's been able to control that monster for like 3 minutes. Now, Frankie is in that monster-like form, but he's going rampage on Luffy's ass. Definitely worth mentioning. However, moving on past that, we are taken to a little cutscene with Caesar Clown, and Caesar Clown is reminiscing on Frankie's laser beam technology, which Dr. Vegapunk actually created. Definitely worth mentioning. However, all Caesar Clown wants to do is steal this technology, which is inside of Frankie's body in general, and then he's going to dispose of Frankie's corpse, or his cyborg corpse. So Nami, you're pretty much fucked if he ever catches you, even though the Cool Brothers have you right now, Nami. It doesn't look good in my opinion. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't, so I hope you learn how to use Frankie's technology, because you're going to need it. Now, moving on past that, of course, we do find out the Navy is being attacked by Brownbeard's men, or should I say, Brownbeard's men are ambushing the Navy in general. And at first, it looks like, I guess, Brownbeard's men have the upper hand, in my opinion, and then Smoker and Tashigi come out of nowhere, and they fuck the battle up even more. So now it's more or less in the Navy's hands. Now, speaking of the Navy, it gets better, in my opinion, because Caesar Clown has a plan to deal with the Navy in general, which I can't wait to find out this plan. Apparently, it's a project which he has set up in general. Now, he hasn't tested it yet, so this is the first time he's going to be testing it on the Navy. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen. But we're still left in the dark on what this project is that's going to like eliminate the Navy in some ways. Now, he tells his remaining soldiers to evacuate the area if they want to survive. So this on a large scale has to be something major, or something hilarious, one of the two things, so I can't wait to find out. And moving on past that, we go back to Nami. Now, Nami, she's being held captive again by the Cool Brothers. No surprise there. However, one of them thinks Nami is a queer. Unless this was something fucked up in the subtitles, one of the Cool Brothers calls Nami queer, or questions, is Nami queer? They don't know that this isn't Frankie, this isn't a guy right now, this is Nami, a girl. But out of nowhere, one of the Cool Brothers calls Nami queer. Like based on, you know, how she was acting. Because, I mean, this is Nami. She's a girl. Frankie, guy. You know, you get the build up there. It's kind of funny if you think about it, in my opinion. Now, again, they do assume, of course, that the cyborg is a guy right now, not a girl. But sorry, I digress. Moving on past that, we do find out one of the Cool Brothers decides to pull a gun on Nami to shut her up. And I love it. Finally, someone pulls a gun on Nami and she can't do anything. Now, we do find out the Cool Brothers set up footprints outside in the snow to lure Luffy and Frankie in. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they're just going to keep tracking the Cool Brothers until they walk off of a cliff. That's another great build-up. Now, that was a setback in my opinion. Come on, we saw that kind of coming. I mean, they're Yetis, of course. They're in the snow. Although, I don't really know if they're real Yetis or not. We've yet to see their faces, just putting that out there. Now, we are taken to a little cutscene with Luffy and Frankie, and they fall for the footprint trap, and they go right off the cliff. Like goddamn morons. But then again, Frankie isn't himself right now, so there's a little slack I'll give him right now. Just putting that out there. However, at the bottom of this cliff, there are ice spikes at the bottom, so it doesn't look good for Luffy or Frankie. And I thought eventually maybe Frankie would stop and go back to his original form, No, no. Luffy, he destroys the ice spikes out of nowhere, so he bounces right back, so no surprise there. I mean, really, it's Luffy. He's the frickin' rubber man. That's what we expect from him. Now, Luffy versus the Cool Brothers is what we were expecting after he bounces back. So we have Luffy versus the Cool Brothers, great build-up. But where the hell is Frankie? He's still going rampage. He's not himself. Plain and simply, he's not himself. Now, moving on past that, we find out Brownbeard's men, they've been ordered to open up a metal door, which I believe is part of a laboratory of some sort, or just some random room on the island. But again, Brownbeard's men, they don't know that Brownbeard has been murdered by one of Caesar Clown's assassins, which, the Cool Brothers in general, but they've been ordered to open up a metal door, which they have no idea what's inside. And previously, Caesar Clown has told Brownbeard's men in general never to go inside this place, don't open the door, so on and so forth. However, now Caesar Clown has told Brownbeard's men to open up these metal doors. Now, we have no idea what's behind it, what's inside, but you can assume, or at least the buildup is, it has something to do with what's going to defeat the Navy. Maybe this is the project that Caesar Clown was talking about that will eliminate or take care of the Navy problem in general. At least that was a build-up in my opinion. Now, moving on past that, of course, we're taking to a little cutscene with Luffy. Now, Luffy has redirected the bullets from the Cool Brothers right back at them because he's the frickin' rubber man. He finally decides, you know what? I'm going to use my rubber-like body to bounce the bullets off. About frickin' time. I mean, the Cool Brothers are lightning fast in the snow. They know this place like the back of their hands. So he decides to play it safe and go on the defensive instead of playing the offensive card, I love where it went, and he's being very smart about it. And he hits one of the Cool Brothers. Finally, a direct hit. That's what we were waiting for. Now, the other Cool Brother fires on the mountain. Yeah, one of the Cool Brothers decides, you know what, bullets on Luffy aren't going to work, so So this is what one of the Cool Brothers does. He aims for the mountain, and it causes an avalanche. Perfect setup, in my opinion. I mean, that's his only last trump card he has. However, Frankie finally intercepts this avalanche, and he stops it. It looks pretty cool, and he actually stops the debris, so it never hits Luffy or Nami or anyone. He stops it. It was pretty cool, and then he attacks Luffy. Luffy finally was like, "Thank you, Frankie. You finally snapped out of it. You finally saved me." Pause, and now Frankie is attacking Luffy. No, Luffy's like, okay, fuck this. Guess what, Frankie? I'm kicking your ass. And Frankie is defeated by Luffy, finally. I mean, Frankie's no longer in his monster-like form. He's done. Plain and simple, Frankie, you're done. And then the Cool Brothers take Nami, and they get the hell out of Dodge. Like, you know what? We're retreating. We're done. So the Cool Brothers, they escape. They go up the mountain. They're escaping. They're running away, and Luffy is in pursuit of them. Now, we are taking to a little cutscene with Law. Law is on the top of the mountain, and he runs into the Cool Brothers, and he cuts them in half. Yeah, he uses Room, and then he uses Counter Shock. As soon as I see Law use Counter Shock, I'm just amazed on how many powers we get to see. He uses Counter Shock, and it's amazing. It's like an electrical attack, in my opinion. However, I could be wrong. This could be a technique used by, well, doctors in general to, stun their opponents or stun their, I guess, their patients, if that makes any sense. But I could be wrong. Counter Shock to me looked like an electrical-based attack, and I love where it went. And I'm curious, what other special attacks have we yet to see from Law in general? Now, after he cuts down and defeats the Cool Brothers, now Nami is free, of course. We're taking to a little cutscene at the end of the episode with Law and Luffy. And apparently Law is looking for a key on the island, and he's asking for Luffy's help to find it. At least that's what it appears. Apparently this key, which is on the island, can wreak havoc. Interesting, right? I can't wait to see this key and what it's really capable of doing, and why Law really why Law really wants it. Just putting that out there. And at the end of the episode, again, we find out Law, in general, wants to form an alliance with Luffy. He wants to make a contract with Luffy. And that's where the episode ends. As for final thoughts, finally, we get to see the cards that Law has been dealt with to an extent on how he wants to create an alliance with Luffy and find a key on the island. Stuff are starting to add up, and I love where it's going. But moving on past that, we finally get to see, the Cool Brothers being defeated, cut in half. So now they're being taken out of the picture. However, where is that samurai that both Zoro, Sanji, and Brook have been looking for? Even though Zoro, Sanji, and Brook were defeated, it doesn't look like they're dead, but we have yet to see that, them come back. However, where is the samurai? He was looking for his torso. You can probably assume next episode we might get to see some results on if he found it or not. Maybe if Zoro, Sanji, and Brook are ever going to wake up. As for Law now being in alliance with Luffy, is he going to switch everyone's body back? I think that's what we all are asking ourselves. I mean, it's kind of pissing me off that we don't get to see everyone in their body. However, it is funny, though, to see them argue and to see Sanji abuse, Nami's body, though. But again, that is it for my final thoughts. As per my rating, 4 out of 5. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 because I love the information given. I like kind of the small fights between, Law and the Cool Brothers, as well as Luffy and Frankie versus the Cool Brothers. I mean, that was the general build-up. Not so much Brownbeard's men ambushing the Navy. That was who the fuck cares type of thing, in my opinion. I mean, that was a small fight we really didn't even get to see. It was just a, introduction. Like, yeah, Brownbeard's men are attacking and ambushing, the Navy. And, I mean, I think more of the build-up is, what does Caesar Clown have in store for, the Navy in general, as well as Brownbeard's men. Apparently, he doesn't care shit about Brownbeard's men. He's going to kill them probably in the process, but we have yet to see that. But again, that's another build-up, of course. And again, my final rating, 4 out of 5. And that is it for my walkthrough review of One Piece episode 593. So definitely comment down below, let me know, thumbs up, thumbs down. Definitely subscribe, check me out on Twitter, and follow me if you like. Let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know what you think's gonna happen in the next episode that's coming out. But again, guys, that is it for now. I gotta hit the bricks and I gotta go. And before I go, I gotta say it, and I always say it. Can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.